Greetings! Brace yourselves for a thrilling journey into the world of brilliant prophecies by the creators of The Simpsons, materialized in reality through the bathyscaphe Titan. Find the most comfortable spot for viewing and join us. You're on the Crony Corner channel, ready to embark on this amazing tour. Let's get started. We've come across the astonishing phenomenon more than once where information lights up on the internet that the Simpsons have remarkably accurately foreseen the future, and this occurred many years ago. Significant events such as Trump's election, the 9/11 tragedy, the Ebola outbreak, and another epidemic that we only just managed to defeat a few years ago, having locked us in our homes, and even the emergence of advanced gadgets like the iPod and Apple Watch. The Simpsons had predicted it all. But the explanation for this likely lies in the work of the writers, who predict potential future event scenarios. Considering that The Simpsons is one of the longest-running animated series in history, presenting us with countless plots and events, one might presume that any global occurrence has already been depicted in The Simpsons. Alien arrival? Don't be surprised, it happened in The Simpsons. Emergence of giant monsters from the Earth? That may have happened in The Simpsons too. Everything has been in The Simpsons. Even the catastrophe we've been observing in real time over the past few days was predicted by The Simpsons. It's not as if it was 100% predicted, but there are some striking resemblances that arouse surprise. Some individuals, possibly having lost touch with reality due to immense wealth, decided to dive to the seabed for entertainment. Interestingly, this particular story was presented in the 10th episode of the 17th season, released in 2006. In this episode, Homer has an unexpected father, Mason Fairbanks, and they dive to the seabed in search of treasure into bathyscaphes. This becomes a truly scary coincidence considering that in the real catastrophe, a father and son died. Of course, they weren't treasure hunting, but simply engaging in extreme forms of entertainment, yet it is an astounding coincidence. They were together in the hunt for treasures on a sunken ocean liner, and after a little searching, they found a majestic ship filled with gold to the brim. The Titanic, by the way, was one of the most impressive ships of its time on which, as we know thanks to Cameron's film, there were many different treasures. The wealthiest people set off on it for the New World. As it happened, our main character, Homer Simpson, accidentally gets stuck on this bathyscaphe in a part of the barrier reef. There was no explosion due to a ship's decompression or a technical error in the bathyscaphe's design. So, The Simpsons didn't predict everything accurately here, but Homer, of course, begins to panic and tries to somehow escape. However, all these events only lead to Homer consuming oxygen too quickly, and a warning is activated that the oxygen is almost depleted. In the end, due to these dramatic circumstances, he loses consciousness and falls into a coma. At this point, the Simpsons story comes to an end. Homer dies on the bathyscaphe 20 years ago. It seemed as though the Simpsons story was coming to an end, and what we see on the screens of our devices and various online platforms are merely our illusions of what the Simpsons represents. After all, there have been no new episodes since 2006. Yes, that's exactly how it ended. However, of course, that's not the case. The Simpsons are rescued. Our Homer is saved. He comes out of his coma and finds himself on the surface of the earth, surrounded by his loving family. Yes, this is the happy ending that everyone close to him, who happened to be on that bathyscaphe, had hoped for. But, unfortunately, for them, the story ended as we've already discussed earlier. But you know, I would have loved The Simpsons even more if they added to the plot how the entire world goes crazy trying to find Homer Simpson and how it all turns into a real talk show. Unfortunately, they missed this aspect. Overall, one can notice some similarity, albeit questionable. So, do The Simpsons predict the future, or is it all just remarkable coincidences? Each of you will have your own answer to this question. Dear viewers, you're on the Crony Corner channel. Don't forget to subscribe and share our videos with your friends. Let them voice their opinion. Are the Simpsons the prophets of our time, or is it all just happenstance? We eagerly await your comments and discussions. See you soon in a new episode.